As the countdown begins for Friday's final launch of the Space Shuttle Endeavour, Mission Commander Mark Kelly, along with his twin brother and fellow astronaut Scott Kelly, sat down with CBS Evening News anchor Katie Couric for his last interview before takeoff. Mark spoke at length about his wife, Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords, who was shot and critically wounded back in January. And Katie joins us now with an update on that whole situation. Katie, good morning. Good to see you again.
Hi, Chris. Good morning to you.
So this was a wide-ranging interview.
It was, and it was really fun to be able to talk to Mark and Scott because they are identical twins, and they both have gone through the, astronaut program together. But needless to say, everybody has been wondering, will she or won't she? It was announced that there was a possibility some time ago that Gabby Giffords could, in fact, attend her husband Mark's shuttle launch this Friday. So obviously, that was one of the first questions I asked him. Let's take a look. Earlier this month, it was announced that Gabby, your wife, may be able to attend the shuttle launch. Have you gotten any word on whether Gabby will, in fact, be able to attend the launch?
Yes, so I've met with her doctors, her neurosurgeon, and they've given us permission to take her down to the launch. So we're pretty excited about that, yeah.
I bet you are. Yeah. What was her reaction when she got the final go-ahead?
I think she said awesome, pumped her fist one more time.
So obviously very excited, and not only excited just to be there for the launch, but you said in your interview there was also some other reasons that they're excited as well.
Well, I think, this has been very motivating, Mark said, for Gabby in terms of her rehab, but this gives her a break from her grueling schedule. She goes through 3 to 5 hours of rehab every single day at the Tier Rehabilitation Center in Houston, and she goes through speech rehabilitation, music. She likes to listen to U2. It's a Beautiful Day is one of her favorite songs, so I think that gets her fired up, and apparently it also fires up the brain's ability to recognize words and kind of its emotional centers. And she obviously goes through regular rehabilitation in terms of teaching her how to walk. She's working on her gait, working on not developing bad habits. She still needs assistance when she walks, but I think she's making a lot of progress in that arena too.
How physically, I guess, taxing is it for her? I know I've seen some reports that sometimes during the end of the day it's enough.
I think it is exhausting because I think it's both mentally and physically exhausting. Think about it, 3 to 5 hours. And Mark said she's working very, very hard. She's really focused. But, there's some good news about, if you can say that, about where she was shot. If it's in the left hemisphere where she was shot, it affects your right side. So it affects speech and your ability, your motor control, particularly on your right side. She's learning to write with her left hand, for example. But the good news is that it didn't affect sort of her essence, who she is, her personality, how she interacts with people, how she reads social cues. And in fact, Mark said one of the things he's learned about her since this incident, well, I think one of the things he's been really in awe of is her ability to be compassionate towards other people. Even when she's going through all of this, she cares about the nurses when they have to do something tough. She's really concerned about her parents. Obviously, she's concerned about her husband. But he says she is all there in terms of her personality and who she is.
What were the hurdles that she needed to I guess, kind of, what were the doctors looking for in order to give her clearance to go? Were there any hurdles that she needed to clear? Well,
I think probably they just wanted to make sure that she would be safe and that, actually traveling to the launch would be okay. She still is missing a piece of her skull that people may not realize. I believe it's in a freezer, and they're going to put that back on probably fairly soon. But, her hair is growing back, and she has short hair. She wears a helmet, I understand, but doesn't like to wear it all the time because it's pretty hot and uncomfortable. But, I think that they were just making sure that she was going to be okay, particularly in the travel to and from.
Was there any apprehension on Mark's behalf? Because this is dangerous, and he is an instrumental part of Gabby's recovery.
That's right.
He's known, obviously, some of the stories of some of the mishaps with other shuttles.
Well, I asked him about that, and, NASA says there's a 1 in 75 chance, Chris, that something catastrophic could happen on any mission. But this is not his first time at the rodeo. He's been on 3 missions already. He knows the risk and reward ratio. But what's so nice to hear is he believes passionately in the space program and all that it's contributed to us as a society in terms of scientific and medical advancements. He said computers would never be this small if it weren't for NASA. So, he obviously weighed this. He was very friendly with 3 astronauts on Columbia. In fact, he had to retrieve some of their bodies. I mean, it's very, very tough. But I think he understands the risks. And, Gabby was very encouraged encouraging. She wanted him to go. So
Yeah.
I think that helped him make up his mind too. And he kept waiting for her to have setbacks because he was told repeatedly. And he said she just hasn't had setbacks.
Yeah.
So.
And the doctors say she's in the top 5% of patients recovering with injury like this. She's got a Facebook page where you can see this.
Yes, our video is going to be, our interviews will be on Gabby's Facebook page, also on CBSNews.com, and we'll have an extended interview with Mark and Scott on our website after the evening news, where we'll have more, of course, tonight.
Great. Katie, thank you.